Many women wrestle with a sense of mild depression or a sense of being slightly unfulfilled, like there must be something more and they just can't quite grab a hold of it. Maybe they'd even describe it as a spiritual slump or plateau. Well, I want to suggest something that might seem odd and maybe even counterintuitive, but much of God's Word is counterintuitive, but it works. And that is, start focusing less on self and more on serving others. Now, before you shut off this video, I wanted to explain this. Jesus wasn't just throwing out a little platitude for us when he said it's more blessed to give than to receive. It truly is. It brings a deep sense of joy and fulfillment when you actually work at serving others. In fact, in Isaiah 58, God's talking about fasting and he says, hey, this is basically my paraphrase of Isaiah 58. He says, hey, I don't want you to do the kind of fasting where you're like denying yourself food and walking around going, oh, I'm fasting, feel sorry for me. No, he says the kind of fasting that he desires is to loose the chains of injustice and to provide food for the hungry, and to provide the poor wanderer with shelter. He says, then your light will break forth like the dawn. Are you getting the picture? Maybe it's time to ask God to point out to you those in need in your neighborhood. Is there an elderly neighbor who would just be blessed by you coming over and just sitting and chatting with them and maybe bringing over a plate of cookies? Maybe they're lonely. Maybe you or your family together, who knows, could go serve at a soup kitchen for the homeless. Maybe you could go into a nursing home. I've learned that many nursing homes long for Christians to come in and hold a little service for the residents there, that they are begging churches to fill this need, and largely these requests are going ignored. Could your family be part of that? Could you be part of that? You don't have to be a pastor, but could you go in and just say, hey, I'd like to sing a hymn with you, maybe something that's familiar, Amazing Grace, and I'd just like to read a little section of the Bible to you and just pray for you. Wow. Could be a blessing to them, but also bring you a deep sense of fulfillment.